In this question, we'll be dividing 20 divided by 4 and then multiplying by 5. Whenever you have two or more multiplication or division operations within a single problem, you do the division and multiplication from left to right. So what we're going to do is start by identifying our two operators. The first operator would be division, and then after we divide the integers 20 and 4, we'll take that result and we'll do the multiplication indicated last. So let me start by doing 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5, so this becomes the number 5. So writing that 5 down, then we have to copy the rest of the problem, which says times 5. And then since 5 times 5 is 25, you simply write 25. So notice that we did perform both operations. 20 divided by 4 was 5, so we performed the division. Then, when we went from 5 times 5 to 25, we performed the multiplication. So it's important again to do it from left to right. Had you not done it that way, you'd get a different answer, and that answer would be wrong. In fact, had you done the 4 times 5 first, that would be 20, and then 20 divided by 20 would be the number 1, and we didn't get the number 1, we got the number 25. Turns out the number 25 is the correct answer because we did the operations from left to right. Let's look at another problem. The first operator I see going from left to right would be division. Notice that this symbol is not an operator, it's just the sign on the number 6, and that's the reason it's in parentheses. This is negative 6. There's no operator there. And that negative 6 is being divided by the 3. So this is our first operator. We are to take negative 6 and then divide by 3. Notice that there's no more operators written, but there's something called implied multiplication. When two numbers are in parentheses with no operator between them, you are to assume that that operation is multiplication. Notice this happens over here as well. Between the negative 2 and the negative 1, there's no operation in there. They're not telling us whether we're supposed to add, subtract, multiply, or divide, so the assumption always is that you are multiplying. It's called implied multiplication. So we actually have a multiplication operator there and the operation of multiplication there, so I count 3 operations. So let's perform our first operation, negative 6 divided by 3. Well, 6 divided by 3 is 2. And the rules for multiplying or dividing, in this case we're dividing, sign numbers is since the signs are different, this was negative, this number was positive, the answer should come out to be negative. So this gives me a negative 2. Then we're supposed to copy the rest of the problem. We did the negative 6 divided by 3, so we are supposed to take that result of negative 2, say, and finish the rest of this problem. So copying that down here, I'll copy the negative 2, and the negative 1, and that leaves me with 2 more operators, remembering that the symbols between here, because they're not written between the parentheses, is multiplication. So to do the next part of the problem, again moving from left to right, we have a negative 2 times a negative 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and then since the signs are the same, both negative, the rule is if the signs are the same, that your answer should come out to be positive. So I'm going to leave that as positive 4. We still have to copy the rest of the problem. I'll copy that down here. So copying this, not forgetting that all of this came out to be the number 4. I copied the negative 1, but I forgot to copy the operator here in between. So don't forget that we're still multiplying. So to finish the problem, we are to multiply 4 times negative 1. 4 times 1 is 4. And then since this is a positive number, this is a negative number, the signs are different, so that's this rule saying our answer should come out to be negative. So your final answer should be negative 4. Let's do one last problem. Let me color in red the operations. Here I have the number negative 6 in parentheses, and I have the number 3 with no sign in between them. This is implied multiplication, so I'm going to put a multiplication dot in between. Then after this part of the problem, we are to divide, so that would be my next operator. So let's not forget that one. Then, after doing the division, that would be taking the answer we got here and dividing by negative 1. The final operation would be the multiplication of negative 2. Again, since there's no symbol in there, we're assuming that it's multiplication in there. So highlighting my 3 operations, I have multiplication here, division here, and multiplication there. I have 3 operations to perform, so let's make sure we do all 3. I'm going to start left to right as always and say that 6 times 3 is 18. Since the signs were different, this one negative, this one positive, the result should come out to be negative. So I'm going to say that's negative 18. To keep things organized, I need to copy the rest of the problem down right here. So that would be divide by negative 1, and then don't forget that we're going to multiply by negative 2. Like always, the next step I'll write below the previous, and starting from left to right, we did the negative 6 times 3 and got negative 18, copied the rest of the problem. Now I do the first operation here of division. 18 divided by 1 is 18. Both numbers were negative, so they had the same signs, so the result should come out positive. So I will leave that as positive 18. Now I need to copy the rest of the problem here down there. This came out to be 18. I still need to multiply by negative 2. So I'm going to copy the multiplication of negative 2. And then finally, I have my last operator. That was this one. 18 multiplied by negative 2. I would argue that 18 times 2 is 36. And the fact that this was positive, this number negative, they had different signs, so the final answer should come out to be negative. So my final answer will be negative 36. Hopefully you found this video to be helpful.